This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat, Brad Gilmore.
All right, and we're here with two of the stars of FUBAR, what we've been talking about, the new Netflix series. Jay Baruchel and Gabriel Luna join us right now. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Hey, Gabriel, I want to start with you, man. This show, first off, is fantastic. And I know you've probably been hearing that all day, but it truly is. And your character, I would like to say, is very interesting in a variety of different ways. Very colorful guy, we'll put it that way. I don't want to give too much away. When you got the script and you read what this character's pathology was going to be, did you see a lot of meat on that bone and a lot of fun that you could have?
Absolutely. We knew of the project. Kind of. Arnold and I have the same team, so and we worked together previously. So as it was in development, I kind of knew that they were shaping kind of a character in this form, and I was really happy and excited to see what they had done with it and how they had incorporated a lot of Arnold and I's real life relationship into the character. And yeah, no, he just loves him, man. He loves him. He's like a second dad. I want to make him proud, and I've literally worked my whole life so that he'd be impressed with what I've done, and then to find out, what he has done in his past and makes us mortal enemies. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of meat on that bone, and I enjoyed playing Boro.
And in the same way, Gabriel, you have kind of this juxtaposition with Arnold's character. Jay, you kind of do too. You have a very interesting relationship with Arnold in the show. Talk to me about when you read the script. Did you see the same thing, like I almost asked Gabriel, of like, wow, this is going to be a very fun dichotomy to play off of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, even if there was like nothing good on the page, it would have been a blast, But I'm spoiled that there was a bunch of good stuff, and yeah, I knew I'd be able to kind of, I don't know, have fun, do funny stuff, get to jam with some people that I respect, and then and then get to be super awkward next to the greatest movie star in the history of cinema. So yeah, pretty wicked.
What's so great about this show, Gabriel, is that it is an action comedy in the ways that we like an action comedy. There's a lot of jokes, a lot of fun, but these huge set pieces, these big action moments, and you have to really balance that tone very specifically so there's not too much of one or too little of the other.
Right.
Did you think that, I guess my question would be for you, did you think that the balance of it was there and you saw on the page what this was going to be when you got to the screen?
No, I think you hit it right on the head, Brad. It's a fine balance, and you want to turn the fader up in at certain levels for the whole thing to work, and for it to all sing. Everybody has to be playing their part, and I think it was important for me to ground Boro in the reality of what his goals were, and to give him a severity and a seriousness that plays counterpoint to everything else that's happening, and I think that's just, and Jay's character, of course, is someone had mentioned before, and I think they're kind of right in the sense that he's our access point. He's very much this outsider coming into the family, and being the audience's eyes and ears, and so all of that has to be set at the right level, and I think the script does that really well, and everybody executed in a way that makes it work.
Jay, the comedy that you're able to execute in the show, Gabriel's right. It's so excellent.
Nice.
We kind of experience a lot of this through you. But on set, when you're shooting with who you called the biggest movie star of all time,
Yep.
Did you try to ever throw something at Arnold to make him maybe break a little bit and see if you can kind of get past the facade that is the Iron Man of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Are you out of your mind? No, I was just I don't want to be the one that gets there is such a clear rhythm and machine in this on that set, and I would come in and have an argument with Monica, and then I would go away for another 3 weeks and come back and shoot another scene. So I did not have the right to mess up anything. So I was
Arnold himself is the prankster.
Yeah,
he's going to be the guy that's going to pull one over on someone else. So
has he ever pulled one over on you, Gabriel?
Well, I remember once on the Dark Fate set, he'll ask for another one, and just to do something silly, like pull his teeth, do that weird smile he does, and I mean, just to say some ridiculous line just so that he gets it out there. He has it in his mind. He wants to do it. He'll ask for another one, and he'll just he's a very playful person. I mean, he's very serious, very disciplined, but knows how to balance work and play.
I think with everything, whether it's you're working on a television project like this or a different movie, we always have that one thing that we're going to take from that and carry it with us throughout everything else that we do in life. Jay, what's your one thing from FUBAR that you're going to carry with you forward on any other project or a creative endeavor you might work on?
That's a great question. You know, just that, like, I gave Arnold, like, I tried to kind of give him a bit of space because he's, you know, I don't need he doesn't need one more guy to sort of like interact with or whatever, you know, and I kind of just was like, didn't want to bug him, right? And no matter what, anytime that I was in a scene with him, he'd always come up to me after and tell me I did a good job. He liked what I did. He liked how I said that. He liked how I played that moment and all this stuff. And it was like, it was just like, I was kind of touched by that, and I saw how far that went for me. I felt that, and so it's like, you know, it's just goes to show you, like, that stuff can mean a lot to people and be kind of what you need to get through a day in a job where you never know if what you're doing is good.
And Gabriel, the same question to you. I mean, the proverbial pat on the back from the Terminator, I'm sure, does go a long way and gives you that confidence boost, like Jay was saying. But what was your one thing that you would take away from this experience?
I mean, you're right. It's you know, I think when we worked together the first time, 2018, what I took from that was the just taking care of your body, you know, like brushing your teeth, you know, training every day not for results, but just as a habit, something that you do. It's part of your life, and so that I've carried to the present day, and then. Working with him again and working with this entire cast again on FUBAR, I think it was possibly just how to try to maintain some kind of connective tissue with the rest of the cast when you're off on your own kind of arc, you know, playing this villainous arc. So, but to still keep the energy kind of flowing. Even though we may not all have scenes together. I don't think Jay and we may have one scene together.
We're in one scene together.
But yeah. But you have this, you know, I was able to build a really great friendship with him in the brief time we spent together. And it's just to always be accessible to the rest of your cast and your crew. And I mean, that's something I've always done. But I think that with one as big as this, with as many disparate kind of lanes and everybody's doing different things and different styles, to still kind of make it cohesive and build personal relationships that make the show feel a unit, you know.
This might be my last question for both of you. I will just say, is there a particular episode that we should watch out for from both of you individually? One that sticks out as, man, I cannot wait for people to see episode blank. Jay, first question to you.
Oh, man. They're all good, right, guys? But no, that pilot is as good a first episode as I've ever seen of any TV show. Just like start to finish, no tracks you'd ever skip on that one. And we close it out pretty good too. So, but yeah, number 2 is a real motherfucker too. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff.
I agree with Jay. I think the first and the last, and then there's a bit of a bottled episode somewhere in there for the CIA team, and just the discovery that they all make about each other in that scene in that bunker is really great. So I don't know which one that is, but that one's really good also.
Well, you know what? Jay's right. The whole show's fantastic from beginning to end. FUBAR on Netflix. Jay Baruchel, Gabriel Luna. Thank you so much for taking the time. Y'all were both excellent in the show, and the show's great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brad.
And we're here with the 3 stars, the 3 people I've been waiting to talk to all day. Of course, Milan, Travis, and Fortune. Whoop, whoop. We're in the building. We're talking about FUBAR. And Milan, I'm going to start with you, man. This show is great, phenomenal. First off, I'm sure everybody's been telling y'all that all day. It really balances the action comedy well. Opening scene. This pilot might be the best pilot I've seen of any Netflix show, bar none. And Netflix has great. They've got bangers after bangers, but this pilot was so good. And the opening scene establishes you and Arnold's characters' chemistry. And you have a real lived-in chemistry. You can feel it between the two of you. Kind of almost a throwback to the True Lies between him and Tom Arnold. How did you build that chemistry with Arnold? Did you take time off set to try to get to know each other, to have that great back and forth?
What I did was I saw Arnold was a fan of chess. So I would ask him to play chess, and he kept saying, yeah, sometime, when I get some time. So it was one day on lunch, I burst into his trailer with my chessboard to play Arnold, and I cooked him. And if you don't know what cooked means, that means I whooped him real bad. So I let Arnold know I was the greatest chess player that ever was on the set of FUBAR, and from there, we've been boys ever since.
I want to hear
What are you talking about?
his
Yeah, exactly.
his reaction
His
to
take
that.
on
Oh,
it.
absolutely. Listen, it's so good, right? That he did a whole, it's Bits and Pretzels, it's a whole environmentalist conference in Munich, Germany, and he shouted out, there goes my friend Milan, who's great in chess.
Wow.
I'm saying,
That must be
it's
true.
a thing. It's a thing.
That's a life moment. I think I would just call it a day after that. I would
100%.
rap. Like, there's nothing else to do in life after that.
Because I don't know anything else I can beat Arnold in, but I can beat him in chess.
You could beat him in chess. But when you talk about chemistry, Travis and Fortune, I mean, the two of you with the one-liners, the comedy, y'all really bring it in this show. Let me ask, Fortune, I'll start with you. Was there a lot of, was that all in the script, or was that a lot of improv that y'all would kind of fire back and forth with?
A lot of it was in the script, but then we would add like the fist bumps or the looks or the hitting or stuff like that. And then occasionally we would we'd go off script a little bit. They would give us some freedom to add things that made it feel like there was a really long relationship there. But the chemistry was pretty on point from day one.
Love at first sight for sure.
That's right.
And when you found those
On-set
improv,
romance.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
On-set romance right
Uh-oh,
here.
Jax.
but Travis, that chemistry was established, right? Y'all have the fist bump. Y'all coming up with the little things. When you would go off into those improv moments that Fortune said y'all would have every so often, how did everyone else respond? Arnold, I guess, chiefly, was he okay with the improv? Would he kind of roll with it?
Everybody wants to play. I feel like this set, the environment was really supportive in that way, where all of us felt very free and able to be spontaneous, because the script was so good that allows you more freedom to play. And so everyone was game.
And sometimes
Everybody being game.
Arnold would improv first, and you had to be ready and not break.
What would he bring? Like, is he firing off jokes? Is he trying to prank you? What is Arnold doing?
One was he's like something as an Alabama tick. That was the one he had to keep in there. He's like, I'm keeping this one.
Like he's holding on like an Alabama tick.
Yeah, that
and we were
one.
like, what do you say?
What do you
Like
say?
an Alabama tick.
Like an Alabama tick.
We're like,
Still don't know what you're saying. We still don't know. Try again.
He would always say, it was always fun on set because we would, they would be setting up the lighting. He goes, it's not a documentary about lighting.
Let's go.
No one cares about the pillows.
It's not a documentary about pillows.
I came into a scene where I ripped my shirt on the door and I had a hole in the middle of my shirt, and he's like, keep going, it's fine. I go, I can't have a hole in my shirt.
But you know what? For him setting that up, because this is the first series that he ever did, obviously, you kind of get time to gel. More than in a 2-hour movie, you have this 8-hour movie where you can really explore characters. But Milan, there's a lot of jargon that you're having to spit out. There's a lot of heavy baggage that you're having to have there with the script. Was that difficult for you at all to kind of remember all that jargon?
Yes, very difficult. Listen, the jargon was beyond belief. When we talk about comics, action figures, anime, I got that down pat because I'm a blurred. But as far as like talking about a Chinook helicopter, when I tell you how many times it took me to say that line, oh my goodness.
What was it?
I don't know. It's a helicopter, and I think it's spelled CHINOOK. So I had to learn about helicopters, learn about speeds and everything, but it was fun to dive in because one thing I love is learning. So this role stretched me in ways I didn't imagine, and it was awesome because when you get stretched as an actor, it makes your performance even better.
And Fortune, I'm going to bounce off of that to you because this is an action comedy. And I think when you do an action comedy, you can't have too much of one or too little of the other.
Yeah.
Obviously, you and Travis and the whole cast brought the comedy. But for you being able to get into do some action stuff, that was probably something that you really, I would think, reveled in, the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I would get the opportunity just because I wasn't sure if anyone would think of me in that way, just because I am known so much for comedy. But I have a big athletic background. I played 3 sports a year. I played tennis and soccer in college. I've always had this love of getting my hands dirty and doing things like that. So to finally get to be more physical in a project was really fun for me. And the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it. One of my favorite days was when I was shooting with Arnold at this farmhouse, and it was a full day of explosions and guns, and we were on the ground, we're army crawling, jumping over things, dodging things. Like, that was my favorite day of the whole shoot.
And I got time for one more question. Actually, I don't. I'm out of time. But guys, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. See, I left a little tease there for you.
Thanks
the
for
show's
having us.
fantastic. I really appreciate the time with all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.